Share. I already turned my machine. Oh, I have this machine.
You have this machine.
Welcome, Facebook Live. Thank you so much. I'm Dan the Man Muñoz, host of Movie Menu Podcast.
Hey.
Movie Menu Reviews. I am joined by special guest filmmaker Justin Rettke.
Yay!
Hey!
Thank you for being here, Justin.
Thank you for having me here, Dan.
Also here is Z,
Hey. How's it going,
our
guys?
senior panelist and co-host.
Yes.
And another guy here is a co-host and sound guy, Mike Stan.
Hey, how's it going?
So I'm just going to double check our audio to make sure that Mike didn't screw up.
Hey guys, what's your Wi-Fi?
That's
tell
gonna,
them the password.
that's gonna
on
be
the
a
internet.
complex password. No. I mean, nobody can hack that password. I'm not giving anybody out
You can
there.
just type it in, whichever way. it is.
Oh, I don't even know, man. Like, it's his
Can
password.
you hook me up?
Yeah, I'll hook you up, man.
But on the plus side, besides the Wi-Fi, our audio sounds amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
Awesome. Good job.
Yeah. Well,
Alright.
this guy. Get this guy. Good.
Are you on?
No, not yet. I'm waiting for Mike. He's doing something.
One second.
He's just making the podcast work.
Oh, yeah. It's the MAG one.
Don't say it out loud.
connected to it.
Am I?
Yeah. It's saying.
There we go.
I hear.
You're back on?
I hear us from there.
Are you
I
online?
should probably
no,
probably
you-
gonna need a reshare, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's the same. It's the same.
Yeah, you're not on.
Same feed.
Okay, we are back.
Hey,
Hey, welcome back.
Are we back? Maybe we're not back.
looks like we just got hacked after. No, I'm just kidding.
Uh-oh. My bad.
Was that Russia? Just kidding.
Was that Russia?
There we go. We are back live.
Is it? Are we live?
Yeah, we're back
We're live.
We are
Oh, okay.
live,
So I don't have
live.
to share again.
I don't know. That's a good
It
question.
looks like we're not. Yeah, I think something's going on.
Are we back? Let's see.
Give old Steamy here a chance.
Yeah, we're back.
It's from
Oh, wow.
2010.
Yeah, this is an old one. You got the CD drive and everything.
Oh yeah, I've also got a dent from when we made Time to Kill.
Dude.
That happened on set. I
Nice.
just found my computer at the end of the day with this big old blonk, and then I was like, oh, we made a movie.
Okay. So now that
You know, like if that's the worst damage I took from a movie, I've taken a lot worse damage than that.
Nice.
now that we're back,
Hi.
we're gonna go ahead and review It Comes at Night.
Yes.
Just in case if anyone else is joining us, I just wanted to introduce our special guest, Justin Rettke again.
Justin
Hey,
Rettke.
everybody.
Hi.
Filmmaker. Also introduce co-host and senior panelist Z.
Hey, how's it
Hey.
going, guys?
Mike Stan is co-host and
Sound control.
guy.
Yeah, there you go. Good job.
And I'm Dan the Man,
Hey,
host of Movie Menu Reviews. Now let's go ahead and go into the movie review for It Comes at Night. This movie is directed by Trey Edwards Schultz, also written by Trey Edwards Schultz. Here's the plot. Secure within a desolate home as an unnatural threat terrorizes the world, a man has established a tenuous domestic order with his wife and son, but this will soon be put to test when a desperate young family arrives seeking refuge. The movie stars Joel Edgerton, Christopher Abbott, Carmen Ejago, and Kylie Keough. All right, guys. I have not seen this movie, so depending on your spoiler-free review, I would decide this movie's worth a dine-in, watch it in theaters, take out, wait and watch it at home, or leftovers, bum rush a family, and
Bum rush a family.
and hide in their basement to avoid watching this movie.
Okay.
Whoever I've
pretty
never
good,
whoever sways me to go with them will earn a point. Whoever gets the most points by the end of the season will be able to host their own segment. Justin, as a special guest, you have the choice of keeping your point or giving it away. However, we are starting this new program for Movie Menu, where the points will start rolling over. So if you are able to earn 10 points throughout however long seasons, you can go ahead and host a segment of your own choice. Just FYI.
Okay, cool. I'm still gonna grub up all of my points. Together. I'm not giving them to anybody.
Nice.
good.
Hold on a minute. I'm looking for the live.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah. It's on your. Is it on your? Oh, there it is. Now I can jet it.
Yay.
Now all of my minions can watch.
Nice.
Hey everybody! Now that we're done with that technical side of things,
So let's go ahead and rate this film. Justin, what's your rating?
I am going to rate it a just barely not a dine-in. I'm going to rate it a takeout.
Interesting.
Okay.
We're going to watch it at home. Nice.
Okay.
Z?
You know, it's funny because before we started filming, I was talking to Justin about how this film took me a day to really sit with it. to actually form a coherent opinion on it, because I walked out of it going, what? I didn't know what I was watching. I didn't understand it. But then I walked out of it and I thought about it. And the more that I think about it, the more that it feels right to say that this is a takeout. And it's not even just a takeout. It's a watch it multiple times at home. I think with repeated viewing, this film will work a lot better. But I want anybody to go watch it in theaters because it requires a lot of work.
And Mike.
For me, it's a solid dine-in, no doubt.
No doubt.
No
Okay.
doubt. So we have
Yeah.
two
Two
takeouts and one dine-in.
Okay.
This should be interesting.
It should be interesting.
So this movie is produced by A24,
Yes.
and they are killing it with their movies.
They really are. Yes, they are.
It's a major reason that I discovered this movie because I was on A24's site because I was looking at some other movie that I'd seen a trailer for, and I was just like, oh,
Yeah,
this looks rad.
Yeah. And I feel like this is a really wide release for A24. Usually A24 releases very small releases followed with large releases, wide releases. And this one was a full-on wide release in the middle of summer, which I found really strange. Now, A24, love A24. Ex Machina was, I think, my last year's favorite film. No, 2 years ago. No, The Witch. Oh,
Was
they've
last
also.
year.
That's
The
right.
Witch,
The
that's
Witch.
right.
The Witch, which was another
Witch.
film that really required a lot of sitting and thinking about. But this film, it is an intimate film. The director of this film, let me get his
It's a
name.
youngster.
It's
He's
Trey
28,
Edward
I
Schultz.
think.
Trey Edward Schultz, the director of this film, Trey Edward Schultz. From what I remember hearing, his father had passed away. So this is a very, very intimate film
story, yeah.
about loss. And in thinking about that kind of set the pieces incorrectly. But here's the thing. When a good director fails, is it still a fantastic film? The answer is yes. This is still a very good film
In
to
what
watch.
sense does the director fail?
Just
It's really-
narrative. I mean, go ahead.
I'm
Justin.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
For me, it was honestly.
No, we're trying to be spoiler-free, by the way.
Yeah, we are trying to be spoiler free, so I'm going to try and keep this as general as possible. For me, it was probably like the last 6 to 8 cuts of the movie. That's really what it came down to.
Okay.
Is for me.
So basically
I
the-
was on board. I was definitely going to say dine in until the last 6 to 8 cuts of the movie, and then I was like, dang.
Yeah. and I think without just to add to that, for me, at the 2/3 mark, I was like, I felt like there was a misstep in there. I mean, pacing was an issue. Now, this is a movie that's all about mood. You don't know what's going on, so without spoiling the story, you don't really know what's going on. The world seems to have ended in some way. You don't know from what. You know that there's a disease out there because the first character you get to meet is Old Bud. Old Bud? I think that's his name.
Is that his name?
That's the grandfather in the story. And you know that there's a disease out there.
Because he's got it.
Because he's got it, and right away you get to see what the repercussions are. It reminded me right up front from of the movie Monster, where you hear about monsters, you know that they exist in this world, but you don't ever get to see them. So in that, I was like, cool, I know what world we're in. But for me, it was just a matter of pacing and where it was going. Because it just felt like the final arc of the film just did not leave me where I wanted
Well, one
to
thing
be.
with horror movies, because this is categorized as a horror mystery film,
Yeah.
Yeah,
is the
for sure,
tension.
horror movie.
Yeah,
there's a tension built
It
up
is-
really well.
Yeah, and I
Tense
think
as
this is a
hell,
It
dude.
is.
It is. I mean, look, they didn't follow anything. They created an incredibly strong. To me, the rhythm and the pacing of the movie and the general tone was incredibly effective because I subscribe to old school horror theory that it should be about dread.
Yeah.
It should genuinely imbue the audience with a sense of dread. It shouldn't be about a bunch of stupid scares.
Yeah.
I agree.
And this movie left you helpless while you're watching it. It's pretty fucking scary to be with these people at
Yeah.
all. You're kind of like, and everything that you're watching the characters go through. And another interesting thing about the movie is that the protagonist and the main character are not really the same person.
That's
It's
a good point.
It's an interesting split.
it
that
is.
You don't see a lot of times in modern filmmaking, especially major releases. You really don't see that split very often anymore. It's something that people used to work with a lot. Going back to the 70s were so great for movies, but they were. But yeah, you do have this thing where you're not the protagonist and the main character are two different characters.
Yes. And,
that's interesting.
and you do feel that split, and I have to admit, when it does the first split from the main character to the protagonist, I felt it jarring, and I felt like it was like whoa. But I think, I mean,
So do we see like different perspectives in the film, or is it just like it just switches back and forth from narrative?
You have a just with one character you have a distinct amount of perspective because you're plunged into their subjective perspective a great deal, and then with the other character they're just doing the job of the protagonist by pushing everything forward.
Yeah, and then by the way, the POV is Kelvin Harrison Jr.'s character, who, by the way, and that's another thing about this film is that great acting. Oh my god! Oh my god! Every
small cast, probably 9 actors. Total.
Nowhere for bad acting to hide.
Yeah, definitely not. And I think that in the same way that the witch just really focused on this one particular family, and it really drove the story. You had to have good actors to sell it. Joel Edgerton. I mean, I think at this point, I think we can all agree that Joel Edgerton is a fantastic actor. He does choose some films that are questionable, but you know when he makes an A24 film that he's going to sell it, and he sells it really well. Christopher Abbott. Not really.
I bought the extended warranty. That's how hard I sold it.
Yeah, but really though, Christopher Abbott is fantastic, and everybody in this film is fantastic. The mood is amazing. The cinematography, we haven't even gotten there yet, but the cinematography is visually stunning, and in a way, you really do feel like this is an art house film.
Yes,
and
that's right.
without a doubt, the music in this film is missing, and by that I mean it's meant to be this vacuum, and you feel alone in that forest with them, and that's exactly what you want.
Yeah, this film is definitely like a slow burn, and the music adds to that effect.
It does,
and to me in a very positive way.
Yeah.
And it continues to slowly build this suspense, and throughout the film we have dream sequences. I guess that's not too much of a
that's
spoiler.
in the trailer, and that's acceptable because that's within the first even at that like the 2/3 of the film.
And I felt like each time there's a new dream sequence, it's like you're entering I'm dreading each time this character is gonna go to sleep.
Yeah, you're just like, come on, bud, just
stay awake.
Yeah, play some cards, whatever.
So we're following Calvin, the son of. Okay. So Calvin, every time he goes to sleep, he has these nightmares, and we experience these nightmares with him. And every time
he falls asleep.
P.S. audience, you're never gonna know when you're.
And
so just forget it. You're not getting spoiled. It's just gonna just break you.
And it's nightmarish. And
is this where I heard that the rumor that Black Phillip from The Witch makes appearances in this movie?
Black
in the Nightmare?
He's not in the Nightmare. He is in the truck, I believe. So it's when they're bringing
there were some goats in the.
They're bringing the goats. Yeah, and it's
I didn't see Black Phillip then.
He's in there. He's in there.
Believe me, if I'd seen him, I would have been like, woo!
You would have been like, some relief. This Satan is here.
Thank God Lucifer's here. It was getting dark.
Continue, Mike. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
No, yeah. So I think ultimately where this film really doesn't do it right and do it justice is in that final. And I don't want to call it a twist because it's definitely not a twist.
No, it's not a twist.
But I would say the conclusion of the story.
Yeah.
It just feels like it was not earned to have you feel that.
I would argue that maybe one shot would have earned it.
Yes.
If there was
one
extra shot before the reveal of the denouement.
Yeah.
If you'd had one more shot of basically a little preparation, and everything would have worked better for me. But because there wasn't that preparative moment, I went into it, knocked me out of the story because in my brain,
it did.
Intellectually, I went, "Oh, wait, what?"
Yes.
And then it was like, "No, that's the thing." And you're like, "Oh, no, that's not." And then the movie ends, and you're like, "Wait, oh, God damn it! God damn it!"
That is exactly
Do you agree,
it.
Mike, or you disagree?
I disagree. I thought that the ending is jarring, and I felt like the setup for it was that, and I think it's without ruining the film, I feel like there's no good or bad characters here. There's just bad decisions.
Yes, correct.
And I feel like you get the effect of that in the very end, and just how people respond under pressure. and
I agree.
and how
Yeah.
things.
Oh, dude! Like I said,
yeah.
the whole movie, I was 100% on board. It would have been a dine-in, except for that last beat with
Yep.
the edit, and I was,
Well,
and I
and it
hated,
is
I
the
hated
editing. Yeah.
feeling that
Well,
way.
And it is the editing that really kind of like throws you right
And that
off, and
last-
you're like,
the whole rest of the movie, I felt like the editing was so
He-
awesome. It was
yeah.
just that last.
it's
thing.
that last few minutes in the film that you really and that sucks because it's like,
But
you know,
otherwise, everything about this movie
yeah.
is fucking incredible.
It feels like the whole film is building up this suspense, and the film leaves you hanging.
It does, yeah.
But I feel like I couldn't help but feel like that was
the intention.
feel
Yeah,
that you should
no,
get
and I
So-
agree.
so
Like,
I agree,
there's an
yeah.
intentionality behind it, but it required a producer to go.
I agree
Add
with
me
the
something.
choices. I agree with all the choices they were making. I'm literally just saying that the cut
Interesting.
lost me, and it bumped me out at
Okay.
such a critical moment that I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe it's a
man,
specific-
this is
and-
such a."
yeah.
I will when we're not on
yeah,
Facebook.
we'll
And
get to spoilers.
and
Yeah, I'd like to hear.
if I could just say this, okay, Wonder Woman did a fantastic job because you cared about all the characters. And this film, you really do, and I think it really comes down to my central premise about, you know, when talking about film criticism, is that a story is relative. You got to have a really good story. But you also have to really care about the characters in the film. You sincerely cared about all of these characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even up until that moment where a bad decision's made and you're just kind of like, oh God,
You
oh
guys are
no.
messing up. You guys are messing up.
And I literally had a moment where I shouted in the theater and I was like, oh fuck. And that moment was ruined. That moment was ruined
Interesting.
by the following scenes. And I was just kind of like, oh no.
Well, great for ruining the movie experience for everyone else by yelling "Oh fuck!"
Yes.
Maybe it was
you
an
don't do
enhancement.
that?
In the eight people who were in the theater with me.
I
yes.
just go into kids' movies and scream that. And then leave.
Oh, you don't do that?
I thought that was a thing, guys. Is
Yeah.
that like is that a NorCal thing?
There's the same thing in like Captain Underpants or something.
That's exactly what I do in Captain Underpants.
Everybody dies, even you. Clunk.
Yeah. So, anyways, I really do feel like this movie requires multiple viewings. It is reminiscent of a movie called Monster, which is fantastic.
Wait, are you thinking Monster as in the serial killer movie?
No.
Or Monsters?
Oh, Monsters. I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting that for me.
I just happen to be a huge fan of that movie.
That's
also.
a fantastic film, yeah. And again, it's that movie. If you've watched Monsters, is a movie about relationships. It's not a movie about monsters. And even at that, it comes at night. The title is it really
perfect.
it's
It's
exactly
amazing.
what it is.
Well, Rigo is on live watching us. Hi, Rigo.
Hey,
Rigo.
He says,
are you in the shower,
He
Rigo?
put spoiler. The thing comes at night. So did it come at night then?
Ben, how did you spell cum? That's the question.
that's a different
I really
movie.
do look
That's a
forward though to
different
talking about
movie.
because like there's like thematics in this movie that are like so strong and I desperately want to
Yeah.
talk about them, but I am also worried that like
It's a spoil-
talking
yeah.
about that would be a spoiler.
It is.
Yeah,
it is,
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see if there's anything else I have in my notations.
Yeah, but
But you guys said about great acting, but
yeah.
how was the chemistry between each of the actors working together?
Dude,
thought it was
it's-
great
I mean,
chemistry.
it's a strong script.
I thought it was
it's
solid.
all about the relationships between the characters.
Yeah.
The whole movie exists.
Now this is the
in the
director and
space
writer's
between them.
second movie.
Is it his
Yeah,
second movie?
it's
Like a second
Yes,
feature film, I should
yeah.
say.
Mhm.
Yeah, because like A24 was, I think they tweeted or something like that. They were talking about how like he's a young guy, but they're really pumped up and they really support him. And I'm like,
It's
you should, you
yeah,
really should. Like
it really
I even though I'm just rating this as a takeout, it's kind of has two reasons. Number one, it's the edit thing, but number two, this is I can tell you without being a spoiler. My audience experience, which is something that I always pay attention to.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I went to go see this film in downtown Los Angeles, the Regal Theaters, near Nokia Live. Yeah, I'm badass. And
You live in Los Angeles.
Yes.
I live in Los
Did
Angeles.
you pay that
you know.
$25 bill for parking?
Oh, dude, no way. I lifted. I live in Echo Park. There's advantages
Yeah.
unless you have to go to the west side. Anyways, yeah, so I went and saw this movie. Okay, the movie ends. Cut to credits.
Yeah.
And the two women sitting like just down from me, one of them starts laughing, and the other one goes, "That movie was stupid."
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, like the bar is so low / so high.
Yeah.
It's so low for movies and so high for an audience that will actually be willing to really invest in something. You know what I mean? It's so easy to go to a movie and be absolutely uninvested now because that is the vast majority of what's there.
Yeah.
It's 0 characters, no real stakes, no emotional commitment. It's so easy now to go to movies regularly and watch something and feel like nothing. And that's what people kind of expect.
Yeah.
And then you watch something like this, you probably were expecting some crap from Blumhouse or something like that, right? You know, they were probably expecting some sort of Blumhouse thing, and they were probably mad because nothing went boo, or
no jump
or
scares.
like
no jump scares at all.
No jump scares.
There's
I
no
always
shadow. Yeah, there's no jump
it's
scares.
great. Yeah, in a big way. Again, in a big way, this is like The Witch, where it's slow build up, slow build up, slow build up, and then it's dread.
Just shit pants build up the whole time though.
Yeah.
You're just like, God,
And-
man, I don't know.
Yeah,
with great acting where it needs to be,
exactly.
great
And
chemistry where it needs
And you
to
know
be.
the characters are so clearly defined. Each
Yeah.
one of them, you know their motivations so quickly that you're absolutely, you know where you are with everybody.
Yeah.
And the only problem with that is you start realizing when somebody is not getting it.
Yep.
One of the other characters isn't getting another character, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
They're gonna run afoul.
Yep.
Yeah,
And you don't fault any of the characters for whatever they do. You do not fault them. You're right there with them. You experience the same emotion as they do.
Yes.
And even at that, like it's just and just to like add to your point, The Mummy. If you want a shitty movie, watch The Mummy. There you have no investment. Here, when you invest, you hurt. And that is what a movie's meant to do. It's meant to make you
A dark
feel
movie
something.
is, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think even a
hurts.
comedy, even an action film,
Yeah.
you're meant.
No,
like,
it hurts.
Yeah.
Like this
Like,
movie hurts.
I haven't felt that conflicted since I would say probably Heat, where you
Interesting.
you got
Shit,
these
yeah.
two characters that you're
rooting for both
invested
of
in.
them.
Yeah, you're rooting for both of them, and you're like, oh, I don't know how this is gonna pan out, but it's gonna hurt me either way.
Either way,
and
you know you're gonna lose no matter who wins.
but it yeah, exactly. But
and
it's
like
a,
that's the thing. That's
Yeah.
I mean that's a real story, and
Yeah.
I feel like the audience that I watched the movie with was literally they had walked in there expecting some Blumhouse pap.
Yep.
And they got something real.
Yep.
And they hated it.
Yeah.
So from the majority of people, I would say there's no way they should go see in a movie theater. because
Exactly.
they'll be all
yeah.
cranky about it.
this is it's a slow burn, and it requires patience.
But you know, if you
if-
read books, you might like it.
if you like.
Well, no. I think if you like
Okay.
monsters, if you like
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Witch, especially if you like
Yeah.
The Witch, where it's slow build up,
Yes.
this movie is for you. But if you are expecting jump scares and a lack of character development, then guess what? Go watch The Mummy. You're gonna get popcorn anyways, and you're still gonna give money to a studio.
Wow, what a big difference on
But
movies this week that we're
It
watching.
really is, and again.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
I know what they reviewed before.
And whereas The Mummy is a leftovers because it wasn't any good, this one at the very least require you know what? Watch it in theaters once. Wait till you watch it at home because I want to see it with director's commentary. I really do. I want to know what the director was doing, especially in that final sequence.
I would
that
pay
doesn't-
I would pay an extra $20 for a home movie cut that
Yeah.
was a slightly different end
Yes,
cut. I would
interesting.
pay $40 for a DVD, let alone a Blu-ray, if it was slightly recut at the end to give us that one preparatory beat.
Yes,
Just
exactly.
a beat. That's all I needed to keep me from going
Yeah.
at the very most critical moments. That's just all I needed, and I would genuinely pay twice the normal amount for it.
Okay, I think I heard enough. So I'm going to go with both sides brought good points, but I'm going to go with Takeout.
Oh,
While you're watching home, sorry, Mike.
that's okay.
It made it seem like this movie is something to watch at home, but also to be as opposed to watching in movie theaters, you can watch it at home and be creepy at home as well.
Okay.
You mean like you normally are, Dan?
Yes.
Creepy at home?
Yes.
Yeah, but no, I agree. I think you should watch this
He
definitely at home.
wears a hoodie whenever he's on the internet.
I do. Doesn't everybody?
He puts on the Mr. Robot soundtrack and is like, ooh.
Yes. I hack away.
Except for on Christmas. Then he plays T. Lazarus.
Well, you have to switch it up sometimes.
Yeah.
Goodbye, horses.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Justin, for being on the
Thank you,
show.
everybody.
Anything you want to promote? I don't know if you want to get close to the mic.
I definitely want to promote things.
Go
Hey,
for it.
Awesome.
Go ahead. The camera is right there. If you want to go ahead and look at the camera where you promote.
America. No. Good news. Amazon Studios liked Time to Kill enough that they put it up on their Amazon Studios vote page for consideration for future development. Does Amazon Studios want to make a feature? Does Amazon Studios want to make a series out of this? And what we'll probably do is we'll probably give you guys a link that you guys can put in show notes or whatever.
Cool.
Because the link is just blah, blah, blah. But yeah, we'd really like it if you checked out the movie. You can watch it for free. And then we're just trying to get people to watch it and rate it. And, be honest with your ratings, but I don't think you're going to be upset that you watched it.
Yeah, for
No,
sure.
I really rated
really
it.
fun film.
It's a really good movie. It's really, really fun, funny, well directed, well acted, well written, well produced.
Yeah, and more importantly, a story that hasn't been seen before, and it's just fun to watch because
Yeah,
you're
it's
just
very clever.
yeah,
I
it's
agree.
very very clever and just enjoyable. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's only 10 minutes with credits.
You made sure.
We made damn sure. There were some critical choices made to keep it in 10 minutes.
Well, thank you so much, Justin, for being on the show. We love having you on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Z, for being on the show as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Both of you have earned points, by the way. So,
Yes.
congrats. Sorry, Mike.
That's okay.
Loser.
I'm
Thank you,
used
Mike
to it.
Sam, for being on the show as well. I'm Dan the Man. We say goodbye until next time. Make sure to stay tuned for our other reviews.
later.
See you
Thank
later.
Bye,
you.
guys.
Goodbye.
All right.
We're still live.
Still live.
Oh,
Live.
ears are all
so
sweaty.
good.
Live.
Yeah.
Live.